2007, the investors were positive in general on photovoltaics. They were blinded by the long-term potential of the technology, which is still there. The potential is still there. They had a high risk appetite, and they didn't care about differentiation. They thought it's a home run, it's a cash cow. And today, I think people have a more realistic view. They focus on short-term execution. There is a reduced risk appetite, as we heard several times during this conference. And I think most of the VCs will only invest if there's a strong differentiation. I think people are looking for an experienced management team. Just a few researchers with a great idea won't do the job. Preferably a proof of concept, so more than just a small cell, a prototype, and a concept to achieve bankability within the financing round. And clear go-to-market strategy. What I don't like, personally, is unstable political support. I can live with a feed-in tariff which will be reduced, but it should be predictable. I don't like retroactive measures or stuff like that. So this is really turns investors off. Discussions as they have been in Italy, in Spain, or the retroactive taxes in the Czech Republic. So this doesn't help the industry. So a predictable subsidy roadmap is something I think the industry needs. And then I shy away from potential delays. And I'm always worried, if I look at new technology, about the long-term cost reduction potential of conventional silicon technology, because I'm a strong believer of the idea that these guys will stay on their roadmap in the foreseeable future. So they still have a lot of cost reduction potential. So in summary, I think that only disruptive technologies get VC money. It's a problem for those guys who got financed in 2006, 2007 to raise a new round today to grow the company. At least it's a problem to get that from financial investors. You might get it from strategics. And today, the IPO markets are closed, and especially for Me Too products. And so my belief is that M&A activities will increase, and there is an opportunity for global players to take over. And so I believe that companies with strong balance sheets or strong backing will be the winners of this game. So why do I still continue to look at the industry? I think one reason is that I believe that the market is there. There is a market for photovoltaic products, and it will continue to be there. And in the past, it grew faster than people assumed. So here, these are market forecasts from 2009 timeframe, and they predicted that we have an impact of the financial crisis, but then the market continued to grow. So these forecasts came from early 2009. 1 year later, well, the market grew much faster than expected, and the guys who did the forecast thought, well, it will continue to grow like that. The reality was that, again, the market grew much faster than they expected. So we had more than 100% growth in 2010. And, well, then others had again to adjust their forecast. So the good thing is that I think this shows that photovoltaic will continue to grow. But at the same time, I think it also shows that there are still very rich margins in certain segments. And the strong growth of the PV industry triggered the discussions in several countries about feed-in tariff reductions. And this is not bad, but it just has to be predictable. So there must be an open discussion. It must be predictable what happens when. And I think the politicians should stop pulling rabbits out of the hat whenever they are in a bad, troubleful situation. So I expect that, well, the growth will flatten in the coming 1-2 years, but then it will pick up again. So there's a market. That's the first thing for me as an investor. So second question is, are there technologies which I think are interesting to invest in? And I tried to make a picture where I distinguish between evolutionary, so industry-driven developments, which take 1 to 3 years, time frames 3 to 5 years, and more basic research-driven revolutionary technologies. And I tend to look into this space there, the disruptive ones. And if you look into crystalline silicon technologies, I think most of the developments will be driven by the industry and by the equipment suppliers. But there are a few nice sweet spots still there, like high efficiency concepts using tunnel junction cells, replacing silver metallization by copper, using other metallization techniques. So there are some small, nice niches to look into. In thin film, I think there's a wider spectrum, but most of the topics will focus around getting to higher efficiencies, to get out of the problem that you have a 10% module at best, and you have to compete with a 15–16% crystalline module, and have the disadvantage of the BOS side, so you don't have an advantage on the levelized cost of electricity. And the most effective way to overcome this problem is to go to higher efficiencies, and these are all concepts to do that, except that one, flexible, cheap flexible encapsulation materials, because this would offer new applications for these thin film technologies. 5 to 10 years from now, I think thin film might be in a better position, because I think on the aesthetics they have a real advantage versus crystalline technology. And in 2018, 2019, we will have the zero energy building legislation, and this means that for high-rising buildings, the rooftop area will not be sufficient to cover the energy needs of the building. So you have to include energy generation into the facades. And at that time, this might become a very interesting place for thin film technologies. And then, well, a big topic, and I won't focus on that one, is the smart grid integration of renewable energies. So I think if we not manage to integrate or build the transmission and distribution structures which allow a decentralized energy generation, and I think the renewable energies like wind or solar will hit a wall in a few years' time. So that's a very important topic, and I think from both sides, from the transmission and distribution area and also from the renewable energy areas, I think these guys have to cooperate to make that happen. Otherwise, we run into a wall there. And so I believe that the party is not over. There will be disruptive technologies which will find investors. Thank you.
I have a question for you. What do you think about organic photovoltaic? I've been to visit Cleantech in Dresden. Yesterday we heard about Novalet, but what potential do you see in organic photovoltaic?
Well, in theory, organic photovoltaics has a high potential. The problem today is that most of the teams, they are struggling with efficiency. So most of the products, or what some people call a product, has a 3% efficiency and a 1-year lifetime. Yeah? This is not a product. So they have to overcome the efficiency problem and the lifetime barriers. And then it could be an interesting market. Cleantech has a very good team. I like the guys. And it's not one of our portfolio companies, so I don't pitch for them, but it's a nice team. And I think they're in good path. But many other OPV companies, I think it will take them much longer, because they have a quite difficult material system. And it's not only the efficiency, but it's also the lifetime of the product which causes a problem.